Good day, future nurses, and now let's proceed to your one of the topic of the nursing research, which is the research proposal. When we say research proposal is a formal document in which a researcher outlines the plan of the study they intend to conduct. It serves as a blueprint of the research, detailing the purpose, significance, and methodology and expected outcomes, and is open submitted for approval by the academic committees, funding bodies, or institutional review boards. Okay? So when we say research plan is the most critical phase of the research process and it's formed the basis for the research study and detailed roadmap that outlines how researcher will conduct a study. It includes the objectives, methods, timelines, and resources needed to complete the research. So the plan serves as a practical guide for the researcher, ensuring that all steps are systematically organized and that the study can be conducted efficiently and effectively. It focuses on the executions of the research, including the data collections, analysis, and interpretations. On the other hand, when we say research proposal is a formal document or written document specifying what the researcher intends to study that is submitted for approval before the study begins. It presents the rationale, objectives, methodology, and significance of the study to convince reviewers or funding bodies that the research is worthwhile, feasible, and scientifically sound. While a research plan emphasizes the practical implementations, the research proposal emphasizes the justifications, backgrounds, and planning for the intended of the study. So in summary, the research proposal seeks approval and support, presenting the why and what of the study, whereas the research plan focuses on how, detailing the step to carry out the research once approved. So both are essential to ensure that the study is systematic, feasible, and capable of generating valid and meaningful results. Okay, the research proposal describes the researcher's plan to study and seek to convince the audience, the evaluator, or the reader on the following. Your problem one wishes to address, the importance and timelines of having the problems or issue to be investigated, background information obtained, rationale and logical soundness of the research methodologies, competence of the proponent to address the problem, justifications in the research or in the request of the funds proposed, justified timetable presented, and the budget plan. Okay, let's proceed to the general guidelines in research writing or writing the research. So the title clearly describes in a succinct way that what study is all about. It involves the identification and description of the study variables as well as the target populations, objectives, and design. The title should generally not contain more than 15 words. So the research titles is the explicit and formal statement of the research topic. So it is generally written in phrase form and not in sentence form. Okay? The prerequisites of the good titles are as follow. It must be reflective, descriptive of the general problem. Number two, it should be simple and concise. Okay? And then sinabi ko na kanina, preferably more than 14 words or 15 words or two lines in inverted pyramid format. Okay? And avoid mga anak in the title the use term an analysis, a study of, an investigation of, an assessment of, or a comparative study of. So, iwasan po natin yun ang paggamit natin. Okay? And then, investigator, these parts identifies the investigator who will be involved in the research, including all those who are valuable contributions to the work. Okay. So, punta tayo sa chapter 1, which is the research problem. Okay, pag-usapan po natin yung background and rationale of the study. The background and rationale of the study, research problem is one of the most important part of the research. So the quality of the background captures the interest of the readers, and it must be appealing and interesting. This is a part where the study provides historical background and rationale of the problem, critical review of the literature, and current knowledge on the subject matter. So, ang palagi natin tatandaan in the rationale and background of the study, the rationale states the prevailing conditions or give a macro perspective of the research topic. It describes the problem situation considering the global, national, and local forces. Okay? And also, it enumerates the various factors, variables, or considerations leading to the choices of the research topic. And also, it explained the importance of the research and the background of the study should familiarize the readers on what the researcher is all about. Okay. Next, punta po tayo doon sa purpose and significance. Okay, the purpose of the study is describe the intentions of the researcher and the rationale for conducting the study. It should point out the goals and objectives of the study to better clarify what the researcher aimed to accomplish. And the significance of the study should cite the importance and the relevance of the study should also emphasize significant contribution to its target populations, to the different sectors in nursing, to the society, and the implications of the future researchers. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating significance of the study, it indicates the importance of the research to specific individuals, entities, institutions, organizations, and other segment society. It clearly defines the benefit of the study and who are the beneficiary. And also, it should be written starting from the macro perspective to the micro perspective. Yun pag sinabi nating significance of the study. And then we have your scope, impediments, and constraints. So discusses the entire coverage. So sa scope and delimitations natin mga anak, it specify the topic areas that will be included and omitted in the research. So it clearly defines here the limitations, the boundaries, the constraint of the research. It clearly specify the level and the depth of analysis of the study. And it clearly defines the subject, respondents of the study, the locale, and the specific time frame of the study. Okay, another one, we have your review of related literature. In the review related literature, that is provides comprehensive presentation and discussion of theories, concepts, and research findings related to the present study. So this study or this include both local and foreign conceptual and research literature weaved together chronologically arranged. So it should be organized thematically. It should be synthesized evidence from all the materials reviewed to have an overall understanding of the research topic. As much as possible, the reviewed material should be limited to those written or published within the last 10 years or last 5 years. Yun na yung ginagamit natin ngayon. And sources of related literature should be accurately cited. Okay? And then we have your theoretical frameworks. In the theoretical frameworks, that is present theories that explain the variable of the study. Theoretical frameworks guides the researcher in determining the variables to be measured, research method to be used, and the analysis and interpretation to its finding and the conclusion to be drawn from the study. So in your theoretical framework, it is the skeletal model of your research. If the theory are directly referred to the research study uses a theoretical framework. Okay? So, yun yung gagamitin po natin. Okay? Next, we have your research questions. Research questions will lead to answer the goals and objectives of a research work. In the statement of the problem, the researcher identifies the major problem or the goals of the study and its sub-problem to its objectives of the study. So, the major problem is the central focus of the study while the sub-problem are questions taken from the major problems. Okay, so yung statement of the problem natin, kapag main problem yung ginagamit natin, it is generally reflective on the title. It is express declarative statement. It should be consistent with the title. It should be specific, clear, precise, and complete and focused. And it reflects the general objective of the study. So that is your main problem or major problem. And then pagpunta naman natin sa sub-problem mga anak, stated naman siya in interrogative form. So these reflect the specific objective of the study. The questions are mutually exclusive or do not overlap. and the questions are not answerable by yes or no, but should reflect relationship between among the variables. Okay? Next, research on conceptual paradigm. So pag sinabi nating conceptual paradigm, this diagram that usually represent the interrelationship of the research variable as perceived by the researcher before an actual empirical investigation is done to prove its relationship. Pag sinabi po nating research paradigm, it is a diagrammatic presentation of the conceptual framework of your study and the research title. It is operational and a schematic framework of the research. It shows the relationship of the certain variables of the study, and it should be agreement with the title, your conceptual framework, and the statement of the problem. Okay? Next, we have your hypothesis, assumptions, definition of terms. Okay. Uh, Kapag sinabi nating hypothesis of the study, it is an educated guess that need to be tested. It is optional, but it required when the testing of significance of relationship and difference of measure are called for in the statement of the problem. And statistical hypothesis is generally stated in the null form. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating assumptions of the study, these are the statement of suppositions that are presumed to be true and thus need to be proven. Generally enumerated, stated simply and clearly and need not to be explained. And an assumption is not what is to be proven in research, and these sections is optional but its inclusion is encouraged. Okay? And then pagdating naman tayo doon sa definition of terms, in the definition of terms, it should be operational definition of terms used in your study. It is definition of terms in the context and how it used in the study. It is necessary include the definition of terms used in the title or in the chapter 1 of your research paper. So reference for terms lexically or conceptually should be cited appropriately, and the terms defined are to be alphabetically arranged. Okay. Research methods or research design. Okay, dyan naman po tayo. Okay, the research design is the plan and how to conduct your study. So there is the major elements falling under the research design include the specific research method and the rationale in relation to your variables, investigated, the sampling procedure, informations. Okay, napag-usapan naman natin kanina what are the different research design in research. But in the research design, it should be research plan or scheme implemented to answer the research problem. So the appropriate research design should be specific and described. And a book on research design may be consulted to identify the appropriate research design for the study. So you can choose what research design to be applicable with your topic na pag-usapan naman na natin from the previous topic. Next, we have your sampling procedure. In sampling procedure, the researcher should select the group from which data should be collected in order to draw the valid conclusion from the research or from the result and carefully decide how to select a sample that is representative of the whole group of population. So, you can back on our topic on the sampling. Andun po lahat kung paano po tayo mag-select ng ating participants. And then we have your description of the subject, respondent, or participant of the study. So this is included in the description of the study population, including the rationale for selection of the sample, the methods what they will be used or will be found and recruited, what are the inclusion and exclusion criteria, and sample size. So it describes also here your local of the study, research population, and sampling. Uh, the sampling plan describe the populations of interest, the criteria used for selecting the population sample, and the procedure used in getting the sample size. Okay? And then you have your description of the setting of the study. So that is description of the place where the study is to be conducted and explain the relevance of the place to the researcher, the study variables, and the participants. And then we have your research instrument. In the instrumentations, specify the clearly types and bases of instrument to be used and how it will be measured the variable of the study. So the research instrument describe in details the particular method in gathering the data. And then it described what instrument measured, how it was interpreted, to whom it was administered, and how it is administered. So validation and reliability of the instrument. The instrument must undergo validation by seeking expert opinion and pre-tested to ensure reliability and result to avoid measurement error. Especially mga anak, if standardized research instrument was used, complete details of the sources must be cited. And if a self-constructed research instrument was used, details on how reliability and validity of the instrument was established must be presented. So usually you consult statistician on how to conduct reliability and validity tests of the research instrument. So if the person other than the research gathered data, detailed instrument given to assistant should be presented. And then we have your data collection procedure. So explain clearly the methods of data collections. And then the treatment or interventions in experimental studies. So dito gumagamit na po tayo ng kind of treatment or interventions. So that is discuss in detail the context of the questionnaire, the process of observation or interview, or reasons for the research method to be used, and possible contaminations. And in the measurement of data for confirming or rejecting the hypothesis should be specified. This measurement outcome should be distinguished into primary and secondary. Okay? And then measurement of the variable, that is for clearly and fully describe all relevant measurement, investigations, technique, and exact procedures to be used. And then you have your study plan, that is descriptions of the study plan, order or sequence, site, and timing of all procedure informations to be collected from the subjects or any equipment and treatment to which the subject shall be exposed. Then we have your data analysis. In data analysis, that is method by which the data analysis should be done within the protocol, such as time of the data collection, statistical analysis, method of data collections, ayan. So dito, it makes explicit the different statistical methods and formula used in data analysis. It determines and justifies the statistical treatment for each subproblem, and it specifies and justify the scale of values used and the descriptive equivalent rating if there was any way. And then we have your ethical issues. Ethical issues are of or matters relevant to safeguard the rights and safety of the subject. They include issues relating to the risks and benefits, vulnerability, confidentiality, and management of the adverse side effects, and among others. And resource requirements, description of the resource requirement of the study, which involves cooperation of individuals other than the researcher. And dissemination and outcomes, this intended for route for internal and external publication should be specified. Any implication for further practice and patient care should be suggested. So usually this is the content of your research proposal manuscript, but this time, uh, two chapters na lang po yung ating proposal. We have your chapter 1, which is the introductions, and chapter 2, which is the research methodology. So yun po yung kailangan po natin in presenting your research proposal. And then this is the elements of qualitative research proposal. Makikita nyo naman, ito yung nilalaman niya po. Okay, pero sabi ko nga po, ngayon we have a new guide na po that we have two chapters for our research proposal. Okay, for your research proposal, so this is already the LNU undergraduate manuscript format that is presented. Ito na po yung sinusunod natin. So we have 4 chapters already. We have your chapter 1, we have your introductions. Chapter 2, the materials and methods for experimental and research methodology for non-experimental. Chapter 3, results and discussion. And chapter 4, we have your summary, conclusions, and recommendations. For your research proposals, I need your groups to prepare your research titles and make your chapter 1 and chapter 2 Okay, that is to be passed sa Research Management Office kasi that is our research proposal. But before you proceed with your research proposal, we need first to seek approval with your research advisor regarding your research title. Okay, the research title will be depend upon the agreement between you and your research advisor. And after that, if your advisor and your group mates approve the title, and then you can proceed to our chapter 1, which is the introductions. You make your rationale, framework of the study, research paradigm, statement of the problem, hypothesis of the study, significance of the study, scope and limitation of the study, and definition of terms. And after that, you can proceed to chapter 2, which is the research methodology. So, make the research design, sources of data, instrumentations, tools of data analysis, and ethical considerations. Together with that, it should be attached your survey questionnaire for quantitative, interview guide for qualitative, informed consent, and also your uh, letter seeking for approval for ethical clearance for our research studies. Okay, so that is our requirements before the ends of our research one. Okay, so that it's. If you have any questions or queries or concerns, you can approach me anytime, and we will have your demonstrations during our face-to-face discussions in terms of this doing research proposal. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, everyone.